And I'm Bella.
Welcome to the Holy Matrimony Podcast.
This week, we're coming back to our roots, talking about wrestling.
Wrasslin.
We have a lot to talk about on wrestling.
We do.
But first,
But first.
before you continue,
Okay.
we have stuff to do, Liam.
Okay.
Anyway, no, I'll get to you in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
But I have to let our listeners know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We do release episodes now every other Thursday. So it'll still be Thursdays, everyone, just every other week now. You can listen to us on most of the major podcast players, and you can watch us if you like. Some of you already do. We are on YouTube. That is the Holy Matrimony Podcast. So youtube.com/@holymatrimony, HOLYMATCHRIMONY. I almost spelled that wrong for a second.
I wouldn't be able to spell it right, so I'm glad you do it.
Okay, but I was going to start with like an M or something. And it was like, but anyway, how I spelled it is correct. Also follow us on social media. We are on X and Instagram @holymatrimony, same spelling. Especially this week, we might have some fun little pictures that we're going to post.
Fun little pictures. So please follow, like, comment, rate, review, anything else, thumbs up, any of the good things that are out there. Please do that for us. Let us know what you want to hear from us, how we're doing, who's right, who's wrong, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Okay, now you can go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So, there's been a lot going on in the wrestling world.
In the WWE wrestling?
Yes. There was recently a PLE Bad Blood.
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think so. And then there's another one coming up. So and plus we had some fun stuff happen to us. So, so we're going to talk about just everything that's been going on.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about all of WWE, starting from its creation till today.
All right, buckle in. Let's do this.
I'm just kidding. That would be like a days-long podcast.
Yes.
Maybe longer.
Yes. I don't think two people could just talk about it all enough.
People could.
Could.
Should they? And would they? No.
Would it be interesting to listen to? Probably not.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
I'll start at 1960. No, I'm just kidding.
1960. Oh, do you know?
The exact year? No.
Oh, okay.
It was 60 something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to hit me with a date. And
I wish.
I didn't know if you were making it up or if that was true.
There's somebody out there that knows the date. But not me.
Well, not just of wrestling, because wrestling's been along for,
hundreds of years.
Yeah, centuries, maybe? When were like the Greeks and stuff. Okay, never mind. That's not what we're talking about. This is not. This is so far off.
But pro wrestling started being what we know it, like in the carnivals, in like the traveling carnivals in the early late 1800s.
Yeah, didn't like Abe Lincoln or something
wrestle
or something like
apparently
that?
He was like a world champion. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll do a history podcast one day.
Abe Lincoln versus Undertaker.
Oh, wow, what a match!
I know he was tall. Abe Lincoln was tall.
Apparently, he was really tall. Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, we're talking about current wrestling.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned the last PLE because WWE's just releasing these like they're nothing now.
Yeah, it was like once a month, and now they're like, yeah, you know what? Once every 3 weeks is fine. Whatever.
Whenever we feel. So our next podcast will actually also be a wrestling one.
We'll probably be talking about Crown Jewel.
But that hasn't happened yet. So we're going to talk about Bad Blood.
We are not time travelers.
No. I mean, I could probably guess a lot of it, but
yeah.
Because with Bad Blood, let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We did guess all of it because it was a very predictable show.
Oh, I don't know if we guessed all of it. We guessed everything.
No, we guessed it all.
Do we know the CM Punk Drew match? Do we know who was going to win that one?
Yes, we both said CM Punk. Even though I'm a Drew fan, I knew just for the story and how to get them to kind of not have this feud for a little while, I knew Drew had to lose for it.
Yeah, but what we didn't know was how good that match was going to be.
Well, 100%. That was the match of the night.
Yes.
They started with it, which doesn't make sense.
Yes. So again, anybody that's already watched it, I know it's old news, I understand that, but we haven't talked about it yet. That was a great match.
Oh, fantastic.
Probably one of the matches of the year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, do we expect anything less from those two?
I mean, no. I love CM Punk, so no.
Well, and I love Drew, and I think they're just so good together. It's so cute. Their little fights.
They're so cute. Their little promos.
Yeah. They threatened to kill each other. They didn't. Just spoiler for everybody. I thought they might, but they got close.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, CM Punk throwing the toolbox at
Just
Drew.
right at Drew's head,
Yeah.
dink, and all the blood coming out. They definitely
Yes.
put the blood in Bad Blood.
Yes.
Which why that was the first match then, that's what upsets me. But it's fine because it
Mm-hmm.
was a great match. The rest of the show kind of, was on I'm trying to think of the word. Just not as exciting after that.
Yeah, it was kind of a letdown. Like
Mhm.
you start off really high and then you kind of just like nothing is as good the rest of the night.
Do you think it would have been better if they ended with it?
For sure.
Like the rest of the matches would have seemed better?
Yes.
Okay.
Hands down, yes.
Well, just call us WWE if you want us to give you some insight.
Triple H, call me.
Because, I mean, I think we're a pretty good, like, duo to make these decisions. Because Will's, like, a super fan.
Yes.
And then I'm, like, new into this and I'm not as close to it. So I can
Mm-hmm.
make very logical decisions.
Agreed. And yeah, I think just because here's the thing, I'm wearing a shirt. I love Cody Rhodes. You love Roman Reigns, but I
Oh,
think
yeah. That's the OTC tribal
yes,
chief, yeah.
but just because they're fighting doesn't mean they need to be the main event.
No, because it wasn't a title match.
No.
So what was the point?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I obviously know that he's the champion, okay, but it wasn't for the title. It wasn't anything. I mean, obviously it's like important, but like it really wasn't.
Right.
Everybody was there for the Drew CM Punk match. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
At the end of the day, we're just getting right into that. If you're cool with that. At the end of the day, the Cody Roman versus Solo Jacob Fatu match didn't really mean anything.
No, it didn't. And I was not ready yet for Fatu and Roman to come together in the ring. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was too early, especially because it didn't matter.
Yeah, like Jimmy came back. Good. I like Jimmy.
Yeah, that was the one good part.
I mean, The Rock made an appearance. Didn't do anything at all, but made an appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to know how much they paid him just to have his music cue. He barely walks in,
Counts one, two, three.
one, two,
One,
three,
two, three.
looks at them, and just that's it.
Yep.
End scene. Good for him,
Yep.
but did nothing.
Too much money. Didn't add anything to the story.
No, I mean, it could be foreshadowing, but we don't know.
But like, also they haven't mentioned it
No,
since then. Like,
literally, nobody's even been like, "Hey, do you remember when The Rock came in?"
yeah, nobody said anything about it.
Like, at least can we get like R-Truth being like, "Hey, did you guys see on Bad Blood that The Rock came in?" And people
Yeah.
are like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
nobody.
something?
No.
Nothing.
So yeah, at the end of the day, that was didn't really matter. So like, it shouldn't have gone on last, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's probably because The Rock came in and he's only a main event. So he said, "I will only be here if I close the show."
But then if it was me, I would just be like, well, we don't need you.
Yeah, but he's like the boss, isn't he?
He's on the board of directors.
Yeah, that's
but
like a boss. That's like the boss.
what are you gonna do, Rock?
I don't know. Clearly, he has some influence, which we could talk about later.
We
but
could definitely
yeah.
talk about that later. Yes.
But yeah. Anyway, I mean, I do think Bad Blood was just unnecessary, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a lot of stuff seems unnecessary right now. I feel like we're in the lull point
Yes.
of Wrasslin. So everything kind of seems weird, and especially leading up to Crown Jewel. Online, there's people who feel one way about Crown Jewel. I feel slightly different, but I do think overall we are just getting jumbled to kind of just put PLEs in my mind.
Yeah, I mean that's generally how it's been like in past years, where there's a kind of a lull right now until Royal Rumble time, and then Royal Rumble will wrap up because you're getting ready for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so they have these PLEs, which I don't even think they necessarily. I'm not saying don't do because I understand they make money and they're cool, but like they're not super compelling stories going into these, so they're just kind of throwing things together. So Crown Jewel, we could talk about that. Like, I think the idea of it is decent. I don't know that the execution's been great.
Well, and I think that's kind of what they did with Bad Blood. So to me, you either have to not do so many PLEs, or, I mean, your story maps have to be deep, right? Like, you have to be planning this out well in advance.
Yes.
Because personally, with the Crown Jewel, I know a lot of people don't like this Crown Jewel championship belt thing.
Explain that. What's that?
So it's specifically for Crown Jewel, and it's going to be for the men's and women's. So that whoever holds the title belts, like so the championship. So we have the undisputed, undisputed WWE champion. That's Cody.
Yes.
And then the world heavyweight champion, whoever holds that, they fight for the Crown Jewel championship belt.
Yes.
Same with the women's.
Yes, men's and women's.
Yes. So whoever holds the two titles on both, that's who is going to fight, and then they become the Crown Jewel champion.
Now their individual belts aren't on the line.
No, they don't lose their belt. They just can gain this belt. So it's pretty much saying which champion's best.
Right. Now, what a couple things that haven't been clear yet, which maybe we'll find out later,
Mm-hmm.
is like, do they defend the Crown Jewel Championship separate after that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just a yearly thing? Like, I think everybody online, a lot of internet wrestling fans in the past have thought like, well, this is one of those things they're doing for Crown Jewel that we're never going to be hear about again until maybe next year they have another one. Like, we're not going to mention. We're going to mention it during Crown Jewel the next week, and then we're never going to mention it again.
So question, King of the Ring.
Yes.
That's just like a yearly thing. Or like if it, I know it hasn't always been that way.
But like, yes, like when it was started in the 90s, it was a yearly thing.
Yeah, so you don't defend your King of the Ring. It's just a new tournament each year or whatever.
Correct.
With the Crown Jewel. So part of me thinks they honestly don't know. I think they want to see how well it does to decide whether or not it's just kind of like King of the Ring. So next year there'll be a new Crown Jewel, which I think should be. That's what I think it should be. You don't defend it because what if you don't have your title? That belt in my mind is only for the title holders to fight it out to see who's best. So to me, it's each year it passes on because, well, it's whoever's the champion, right?
Yeah.
But obviously they could also do it where they defend it. I don't think they know.
I don't
personally.
think they know. Yes. I'm probably very biased in my opinion on this. Because I agree with your decision, well, what you think. Like, it should just be defended at Crown Jewel, make it a yearly thing, both champions fight, they win, right?
Yes.
The thing I don't like about that, though, is that it's a belt. And in my opinion, title belts needed to be defended, right? If you want to make it that, make it a trophy, make it a cup, something else. But a title belt is defended. And that's why I don't like it being a title belt if they're not going to defend it.
Which, yeah, I see that.
You know what I mean?
Because do they do that with speed? So whoever's the speed, they defend it?
They do, but they do it like, I think they do like a tournament. So like the tournament winner, I don't watch speed, but from what I've heard, the tournament winner wins the belt. And then I think they do tournaments to figure out the number one contender.
The number one contender. But they do defend the belt.
But they do defend the belt.
Yeah, I see that.
So like that's why I don't like it being a belt if it's not going to be defended.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they know. And based on the fan base online, they're not going to do it again. This might be like a one-time deal. Because nobody likes it. Now, I'm the opposite. I like this concept. Well, hold on.
Why do you like it?
I'm half and half. Because the idea of Cody and Gunther fighting for this belt is amazing to me.
Yes.
I almost think that that's why they did it. Also, that belt is going to look so good on Gunther.
Yes.
Have you, like, for those of you who haven't watched or haven't seen it, look up the Crown Jewel.
It's like
championship
super
belt.
long, like
yes,
like tall.
Yeah, it's glorious.
Yes.
That will not look good on Cody. It will absolutely look good on Gunther. But that's obviously like the side part. The main thing I like is I've been saying this forever. I'm sick of Cody just being this like undefeatable champion.
Yeah.
I don't like it, especially because he also always needs help, right? Or he's had help a lot. I like the idea that no, this is just the two champions. They have to go against each other and who's best. This finally sets up for Cody to be able to lose a very serious match without losing his title. I understand why he's not going to lose that title. I completely get it.
Right.
We're setting up for bigger things. This makes sense. But he's not losing his title. He's just showing that he's not as good as Gunther. That's it.
So, and I agree with that. Like, I understand that concept. So, being a wrestling fan for a long time, back in, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that, right? Survivor Series wasn't War Games like we know it. It was just Survivor Series. And what they did during Survivor Series was brand warfare. So this is where I think they're trying to go back to this, but why not just go back to Survivor Series doing it? And they would literally have, so in this case, it'd be like Cody versus Gunther. They would have like the U.S. versus the Intercontinental Champion, the tag team champions against each other. Like, why not just do that?
Well, I agree, right? First of all, they're moving on. This is the Triple H era, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
But also, which do you like better, that or War Games? You like War Games better.
I like War Games, but I'm saying just make Crown Jewel all of that. Like, do it all for Crown Jewel.
But they might though.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you guys are being so harsh on it that they're going to just end up taking it away instead of seeing what it could have been. Now, I will give you guys one part that I do agree with. So for the men's, I think this is great. They've set up the men's really well for this to be Cody and Gunther.
But also why? Real quick, sorry.
Why what?
It's because Cody's the ultimate babyface and Gunther's the ultimate bully heel.
Exactly. So it's worked. That's what I'm saying. It's set up perfectly. What they failed to think about, though, is And I know, based on what we're seeing, they said, oh, wait, we didn't even think about the women's.
Yeah.
Hold on, Gunther and Cody going against each other is like gold. Oh, but hold up. Wait, what's going to happen for the women's? And that's where I'm upset with it. This is what I'm saying. They don't, if they're going to do all these PLEs, why aren't you like pre planning this out like a year or so? I guarantee they do have some storylines obviously planned out so far, right?
Probably
Other ones they don't.
Bloodline. That's about it.
Exactly, right? Other ones they don't. Clearly with the women's, they did not stop to think about this, and we're seeing that. And I'm
Yes.
feeling that this women's stuff is so twisted right now. It doesn't make sense. The matches don't make sense. The people teaming up don't make sense. They're not explaining it well. And I understand why they're doing it because as it stands right now, you're going to have Nia and Liv going against each other at Crown Jewel.
Who are both heels.
Both heels. It also just doesn't make sense
Right.
in the long run. So they're clearly trying to build up either to make it make sense that they go against each other or to change titles to make somebody else. I don't know. You tell me. You know more about this than I do.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think that. So they knew at Bad Blood that this was going to happen, right? Well, you had two women's matches at Bad Blood where you could have taken the title and put it on one. So you could have had Bailey beat Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have had Liv versus Bailey.
Or the other way around.
Or you could have had Rhea beat Liv.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have Liv versus Nia. And you can still do
You
this.
mean Rhea versus Nia?
Yes,
yeah.
excuse me. And you could still do this. So if Liv's still mad at Rhea, she goes to SmackDown to help Nia,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Bailey and Naomi can go to Raw and help Rhea. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can do that still, exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
But it doesn't make sense because you have Liv going against Nia. Rhea's kind of helping Nia, but kind of not.
yeah.
And then you have like Naomi helping Liv, who's a like, and then Tiffy is there somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
not like she teamed with Rhea last week. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
No, they completely messed up. That's what I'm saying. They did not think about it. They jumbled it up. I think another part of the problem, this is obviously just my opinions and my thoughts. I'm probably right though. I think they wrote out the Nia Tiffy, like Tiffany Stratton storyline already.
Yeah.
They have been building up to this like, okay, their friends are helping each other, but clearly Tiffany's going to turn on her. And I think they had that planned. So now
Yes.
you throw this wrench in and you're like, well, we can't have Nia lose the title now unless we're going to have her win it back because then how's Tiffany going to go against her? But either way, whether Tiffany holds it or she holds it, they're both heels and Liv's. They did not think this through.
No.
In my mind, they just did not. I don't think they did. And, you know, they're trying to kind of save it by, you know, Nia telling Tiffany, well, you're going to cash in to get the other title.
Go cash in on Liv, yes.
Which is not going to happen. That doesn't make sense. So I'm all for the men's side of this Crown Jewel thing just because it works for them and the storylines that are going on right now. But it doesn't work for the women's. So I can see where there's this disconnect with the fans. But the fans, that's not what they're saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And that's what I'm upset with about it. They just, I think they're doing too many PLEs, too many storylines that have extended like endings.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not figuring out how to fill it in the meantime. That's what I feel is happening.
Well, and I agree with that. I think that in general, that's kind of what's happening with a lot of these, right? Like, you know, you take, I don't want to keep dogging on like Cody because I love Cody, but like his title reign, you got to think they have something planned for WrestleMania, whether it be him versus Roman again, him versus Rock, something. But it's like in the meantime, you know he's not going to lose the title.
Yes.
So none of these feuds matter.
Well, but and that's fine if they don't matter. But they're not doing them very well is what I feel.
They're also not compelling, right? Like it's not. So like finally we're getting something with this Kevin Owens thing where Kevin Owens attacks him.
Finally, yeah.
But even that's taking a detour because it's going to be Kevin versus Randy first. Like so like
yeah.
Even that we're not just getting it straight up.
Yes. Now what I will say, Crown Jewel was my first PLE getting into wrestling. Yes. And it got me into it. So last year's Crown Jewel, amazing. It got me into it. I don't know how the wrestling fans feel, but I loved it. Looking at some of the matches that we know are coming into this Crown Jewel, I'm excited for.
Yes.
So I think this one should be better than Bad Blood in that sense. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. But I still just, it's like the weekly stuff that's iffy for me right now. And I know that's going to happen. But I think that plays into our most recent experience and what we just saw is this weird lull time.
Yes. Real quick, I do want to sidetrack. I do agree. I think some of these matches, which we'll talk about, are going to be
Mhm.
Cool and good.
Mhm.
But yeah, some recent experience. Talk about what happened recently.
Well, we went to another live event.
We did.
We did not sit floor this time, guys. We don't got that much money.
No.
Um, but we sat way closer than we thought when we bought those tickets.
Yes. We bought our tickets and we're like, okay, we're gonna be, a little far up, but we'll be okay.
Mhm.
We didn't realize we never been to this arena.
Mhm.
Oh no, we were like one row above the floor.
Yeah, we were literally the first row behind floor. And when I thought that in my mind, I was like, okay, but we'll be kind of up and back. No, we were like, I could have kind of reached over and touched one of the floor seat people.
Yes.
Therefore, we were right by the ring,
Yes.
practically.
So, what we went to was a SmackDown, the most recent SmackDown,
Yes, we did.
and you can see us a couple times.
Yeah, if you watch well, you can't watch the live anymore, but if you have, oh no, Hulu doesn't do the replays
No, I
anymore.
mean if you have live TV and you recorded it, I'm sure you can watch
You can
it.
watch that, but even on the YouTube clips, you could see us quite a few times. I know Peacock, it'll be a month from now, but that whole episode will come out, and
Yes,
we are on there.
we are on there.
We are so on there that even when they did the replay on NXT of one of the matches, we
We
were
were
on
on there.
NXT. Oh my gosh, we
Oh
were on
my
live TV.
gosh!
And man, did we have a good time.
And you can know it's us because we're wearing the same shirts we're wearing today.
Yes, this is Jacob Fatu shirt for those of you who are not watching.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just wearing Cody's, but yes.
And it's just Cody. But that was the wildest experience in the sense of it was a live show. It was great. We sat really close. But like from the beginning, it was all twisted.
Yeah, it was weird, right?
Yes, because so many things had changed. One of the big ones being, and I was mad because on the preview and everything it said Tiffany Stratton was going to be there. And right off the bat, it was like one of the very first like promos they showed was Nia talking to Nick Aldis that Tiffany was sick and she's not going to be there.
Yes.
And I mean, that's my what did I go to SmackDown for? What did I go to SmackDown
Mm-hmm.
for if not to see Tiffany Stratton?
Yes.
So immediately threw that at us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, another big one was, we saw promo, but he wasn't in person. LA Knight wasn't there, who we're both beginning to kind of like.
No, no, no. You really like LA Knight. That is not true. You really like LA Knight. Once LA Knight turns full heel, I am on it. I am 100% on it, but until then, he's just whatever to me.
Yes, but
But even random things, right?
yeah,
So we know right now, because Raw and SmackDown kind of switched with their announcers. Wait, or commentators.
commentators.
So we knew it was going to be Corey. And so right now, SmackDown's Corey and Michael. Which is cool because I've seen Michael, love Michael, but I've never seen Corey live. So out comes Corey, cool. Then a music hits. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I look up, and I think I was just so confused. I was like, who's Wade Barrett? And I was like, wait, why is Wade here?
Right.
He's supposed to be on Raw, which he
Yes.
is. So I don't know what happened to Michael. It's still cool because I've never seen Wade live either.
And I mean, being live, the commentators don't matter. Like,
They
you
don't-
don't hear them or anything, but it's just
No, you just see him. But
yeah.
But I was like, wait, what? So it was like the most random little things that didn't happen. We knew too that Cody, the Raw before, had went to Raw to confront Gunther. And I was like, yes, that means Gunther's coming to SmackDown to confront. Nope, that's this upcoming week.
Yep.
That's not the week that I was there.
Yep.
So I really thought Gunther was going to be there, and he wasn't.
Well, and so before the show too, they announced that, hey, there's gonna be a main event, which I know they're dark main events, which means they're not on TV. They said it's gonna be a double main event, and it's gonna be a 6-man tag, all people from Raw.
Yes.
So like, okay, why are these Raw people coming over? And then it's gonna be Cody versus Solo in a dark main event, which okay, those are fine, but it's like, I don't know. In my opinion, like, because we've been to, because Raw's 2 hours right now, but we've been to 3-hour Raws.
Yes.
Where like you see the main event of the TV, and they're always better than these dark main events.
Which, and well, we can talk about it. I don't think they were bad. It just was confusing because, yeah, why did we have a full Raw roster tag team like match? It doesn't even make sense. I mean, it was kind of cool.
It was cool
because we got to see some people,
yes.
and you got to see somebody specifically that you like. But what was it?
Yeah, it was. It didn't make sense, right?
No,
because it was New Day and Sami Zayn versus Finn, Carlito, and Pete Dunne, which I love Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Will's favorite, Pete Dunne.
I've seen him before. We saw him last time too, but
did we?
Yeah, he's in that tag match. Or
oh,
You
I
know?
do remember. I don't know why I thought that was the first time you were seeing it.
Yeah. So like that's why I was like, it's cool, but
No, it just was random. Which,
yes,
hey, fine.
right.
Because since I mean, SmackDown has always been only 2 hours, but we've been to the 3 hour live Raws. And so it was like, oh, this only 2 hours this time. Well, at least we got our money's worth because they gave us a few extra matches.
Yes. So and they've always done that, and that's fine. But it's just I don't know something different than watching a 3 hour Raw and seeing the main event that's gonna be on TV.
Yes. Now, I got a surprise
Mm-hmm.
because I did not think one of the people I've been wanting to see, but I'm like, you know what? They're not really in a story right now. Nothing's going on. I'm not going to see them. Then we walk into the arena.
Mm-hmm.
There's a disco ball.
Oh yes.
And you said, do you think that's part of the arena or is that for this? And I said, oh, it's for this because that's none other than Pretty Deadly. And sure enough, Pretty Deadly. So excited I got there. I don't know if you can see it behind me for those watching.
You got their action figures
I
here.
have, yeah, Ellen and Kit's action figures. So that was really exciting to see them. And that was a surprise. So I didn't get to see Tiffany. Gunther wasn't there. They switched up the commentator. They did all these things, but I did get to see Pretty Deadly.
Which you were excited.
I was so excited. And that was probably one of the better matches of the night.
Oh
Personally.
yeah, they were in a three-way tag team match. That was good.
Yeah, with Street Profits and DIY,
Yes.
which we also love DIY, so to see
DIY.
them live was really cool.
Yes. Um, it was cool. I know you don't care as much, but for me, to see the debut of Motor City Machine Guns,
Yeah, and I had no idea
you have
these
no idea who
people
they
were.
are. But you know, being a wrestling fan for as long as I have, I've seen them in
Mhm.
TNA and stuff. So it was cool to be there. I don't think the crowd cared that. There was a few people, but the crowd didn't care that much.
No,
So
you could clearly tell the like 5 guys in the whole arena who like, oh, they've seen them and they like them, and everyone else was like, who are these two guys?
Yes.
Okay, I mean they won their match, which I knew they would once you said they were new, and like Nick Aldis did his little thing debuting them, but I don't think anybody knew what to think because nobody knew who they were.
Yes.
And who did they go against too?
It was another the Legato
Oh, that's right. That's right.
and another team. It was another three-way match. Who's the other team?
I cannot remember, but it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was another three-way match. I know that
Dang.
because they'll face DIY
Yes, yes.
for a shot at the title this week.
What other tag team is there?
I don't even remember.
Okay, we'll think about that.
We're missing one.
Yeah, we're
obviously.
missing one, and this one was a SmackDown one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah.
that was just an interesting. So I'm glad you got to see it because you knew who they were.
Exactly. So that was cool.
I didn't know, and it was a good match. Also,
Mhm.
I just didn't know who they were, so I kind of it almost is one of those things like you feel bad like for those of you who went to concerts and any live event when there's just not good crowd, especially comedy. Comedy's the worst. Like if somebody's doing stand up and the crowd's not giving them anything, it is so awkward and weird, and that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, like because they did a good job, but it was just like, oh yeah, like nobody.
But I blame WWE for that. They did not like give them a good debut. Like we should have had a really good promo, something to
Yeah.
introduce them.
I agree. I think they thought that they were gonna get like the AJ Styles reception. So like AJ Styles when he debuted, like what 10 years ago now, whatever it was. No hype at all. They just threw him in a rumble, and people knew who he was. And he was AJ Styles. Because like again, they've been around as long as he has. They did the same things he has, but they're not as big as AJ Styles.
Yeah,
Right?
people don't know them.
Not like they do know AJ. So,
Yep.
and I think WWE plays to a younger audience now than they used to. So like especially young kids don't know who they are.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So like I think that's their fault for not hyping their debut.
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right now. I don't think they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
Or like they're so focused on some of the things to come that they're not focusing on right now. And I think we do see that with the bloodline. There's such like a clear path that's going on with the bloodline. I do think there's some pretty clear paths with some of the men's titles, obviously
Mhm.
Cody's. I bet you Gunther, they already have that planned out. But what are you doing in the meantime?
Yes. Now, talking about the SmackDown we went to, how do you feel that you finally got to see Roman live?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I know I'm like a big contradiction here because
Mhm.
Roman is my tribal chief.
Mhm.
He's the OTC. He is the tribal chief. That's just what he is. He should be the TTC, the tribal chief, because that's what he is. But I love Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
So I don't know what to do. I just don't. I'm at a crossroads. If Jacob Fatu would go with Roman, that would be the perfect scenario. It's not going to happen anytime soon, anyway.
Nope.
So I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to believe. Like I put my ones up for sure when Roman came out.
Mm-hmm.
Ones went back down for Solo, and they never went up for Solo. But my prayer hands were up for
Your prayer
Fatu.
hands are up Fatu, and we can see that clearly. See that.
Yes, I'm the one with the prayer hands up during
Yes.
when they were just pummeling Roman.
Roman. Mm-hmm.
That was me with Fatu.
Yes.
But so I know people don't get it, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Roman's a tribal chief, but Fatu's my enforcer.
Yes. Yes. So we're kind of going all over the place here, but talking about Fatu,
Mm-hmm.
what'd you think about on Monday
Mm-hmm.
during the Braun J match
Mm-hmm.
when Fatu and Braun stood head to head?
Um, I mean, immediate excitement.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense right now, really, for them to have any kind of beef. But oh, whenever they come in the ring together, whew, that's gonna be a match.
That is gonna be a match.
That is gonna be a
Braun
match.
Breaker's getting good.
Yeah, they're both pretty brutal. I love it. I mean, Fatu is pretty brutal. He just absolutely knocked out
Jay.
Jay, which thanks like somebody had to. He needed to be knocked down a few pegs. Um, but oh yeah, I cannot wait for them. Like I said, there's no reason anytime soon.
No, no.
But when they do come head to head, it's definitely going to be a match.
Yeah, once they get through the bloodline stuff,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, so it was exciting though. That moment where they were just looking at each other for a second, like just squaring up.
That was exciting.
You were excited too, right?
I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some good things coming. I do agree right now is a weird time. I think these TV transitions and these moves, they're weird.
I think they're doing too much at once, right?
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. Of course, it just naturally happened where, these contracts are up and they have to put, they have to work with like the
networks.
The networks, thank you. Where the show's going to go. I get that. So it is a really weird time having all these transitions. Everybody's changing. Samantha Irving, we just realized, is gone.
Mm-hmm.
She's done with WWE for now anyway. There's just so much changing. Plus, it is that weird time where the storylines kind of don't have a direct path right now. They have one for the future. So I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not telling people like don't like it or don't get into it. No, it's just definitely not their height to me.
But I think come January February time, it's good. I think after Survivor Series, they'll pick up a little bit.
Of course.
And it'll start picking up until WrestleMania again.
Well, yeah, because we also have some big things coming.
Yes.
Like John Cena and stuff.
You can't see him.
Well, yeah, we won't be able to see him, but we'll know he's there.
We'll know he's there.
Yeah, we'll know he's there.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's just a weird time. I'm still in it. We still had a good time at SmackDown.
We had a great time at SmackDown.
They just broke my heart a couple times.
Yep.
And there's nothing I can do about that.
No, I also am having a really good time because we've said before, right? We don't have cable, so we're not watching Raw or SmackDown. We're just watching clips on YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
But at least every Tuesday night, I get to tune in for NXT.
I was about to say, CW is available.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for cable for it.
Correct.
If you have an antenna or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do get to watch all of NXT.
Every Tuesday. Doesn't fail me.
Yes. And I
just
can't quite get into it.
Nope.
But I've heard, like, I listen in the background.
Yep. And you'll get into it.
No.
Eventually.
You know why I can't. It's just a little too much.
I know. But at least there's something I get consistently.
Yes, and we were on NXT.
And I was watching it and I saw us on NXT because they showed a clip from SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And we were just right there, front and center.
Yeah, so I kind of know a little bit about NXT. Kind of don't, though, because I just can't fully get into it. But I know at least a couple names now.
Yes. So we're getting there,
Mm-hmm.
And in like 2 years, if we're still doing this podcast, you'll at least know who these people are.
Yeah, so if they transition over to the main roster, I'll say, wait, I know that voice, or I know that person, yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, there's some good things coming. I do think Crown Jewel's gonna be good.
I'm hoping so. That's like that's my staple show now because that's where it started for me.
It's your staple show, yep.
My stable show or my faction show.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. And so I have high hopes for it. I cannot wait to see that belt on Gunther. It's gonna look so good on him.
We know we're gonna get Seth versus Bronson.
Which great
match. We're probably gonna get like Kevin Owens versus Randy.
Yes, which great.
Some kind of bloodline thing, whether it's Roman Solo or something.
Yeah, 100%.
So it'll be good. There'll be good matches there.
No, I think it will be. And we'll see about the women's once they decide where they're going with it. That could also be a good match. We just don't know where they're going with it right now.
Not at all.
So Triple H, figure it out, please.
Figure it out or call us. We'll figure it out for you.
Yeah, we actually have deep plans here and ideas, and I
Yeah,
think you might
listen,
like it.
listen. We'll do a video call like every week. We'll do a video call. We'll tell you what's going on. You don't have to pay us. Just pay us in tickets. Anytime they're in our area, give us free tickets. That's all you have to pay us in.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't need money. Just free tickets.
Yeah, and we want tickets to WrestleMania. Thank you.
Yes. Still. I mean, anyway, we're looking at WrestleMania tickets. Still.
Oh yeah, donations. We have our donation cup. It's empty. So
Yep.
if anybody wants to fill this is donations for
We
WrestleMania
really appreciate it.
to go see John Cena's last WrestleMania. Thank you.
Yes, but Triple H, call us
Yes.
because we'll help you out. I promise.
Hmm.
So
I agree.
that's till next time. Talk about Crown Jewel
Hmm.
and Bella. I love wrestling.
I know.